It is I, the greatest host this side of the Mississippi. Tonight, as we wait for the return or the appearance of Chris Leo, the date doctor, I won't even give him no jokes yet. I'll wait till he appears. Before we start this show, I want to introduce you to two members of the Black Super Friends podcast that appeared to work tonight. All right, first, I'm going to go to the man who's got a brand new whiff of life. He's joined another club. He's going through the hills of Georgia in all his zest and glory. Tonight, you know him as Super Mario Senior, Chopper City newest member.
What's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah, man, I think I just entered my midlife crisis as I'm 40, so I'm just trying to buy all the toys that they we used to play with when we was young, man. So I got good insurance. I up my insurance, and I got my license just in case I get too fast and furious out there. But I'm excited, man, ready to go, man.
All right. Well, listen, my midlife crisis is different because right now I'm going getting on a plane to go to Panama, look at my new place, and I'm also coming to Atlanta. So see who I love the most. That's gonna be because Atlanta is good for somebody like myself.
Let's talk about this Panama because we witnessed you in Mexico. You ain't do good. You gotta make sure they got some bacon.
So what?
You gotta make sure they got some bacon. Before you go.
Yeah,
I hate to see another incident.
Yeah, but in my condo, I cook my own food. So you ain't gonna lie. Panama food is interesting, my man. But guess what? I can go to Ruth Chris for $5 American money. Yeah, I'm a real player over there. All right. Next, I'm going to introduce the person that's been heckling me tonight, even though he looks like he's recording from a Nintendo 64. You would know him as Zay, the international ladies man.
How I don't take Horace's introductions. He told my dog he was zesty. So I don't never ever want an introduction from Horace.
Who I say was
But
zesty?
I'm glad y'all here. Y'all see my mug? You told Hardy he's zesty with his
No, I didn't.
with his newfound license. He said he gonna be zesty
No,
flying
I
through the
didn't.
hills of Georgia. I said, oh
He
We're gonna
says
review the tape. I didn't say that.
he said zesting.
yeah.
I said zesty.
He said zesting. He can't hear you, man. You know he got
Okay.
issues with his mic.
Yeah, yeah,
I was just making sure.
yeah. I bet they be full of mess. I want people to know. That's why we be on Zay ass on the show, man. Because he be shooting a little pea shooter, and then people like, why you always messing with Zay? You
Yeah,
don't have
man.
no idea the real Zay behind the scenes.
Whatever do you mean?
All right. Next, the person who just pulled up in the studio, he didn't use a sick day, but he's here. He's here to give you all the best that he got, like Anita Baker, Chris Leo.
Oh, he must have had a nasty night.
No, I've been
Eh,
asleep since 5:30, man. I was supposed to just take me a quick little nap before the show. Shit was all over, man.
Eddie Kane Jr. You might well came in hollering.
I swear, man. I'm out of it. But I've been on the road. I just got back. Well, not just got back, but got back late last night. Had to go to work. And now I'm here.
Hey, we had a good chuckle about yesterday too, dog.
What happened?
I couldn't even save you. Pops hit you in that AK, man, at the table.
Man.
Oh man, all I could do was sink behind the flowers like this.
He told me to shut up and all, man. Leave his wife alone and all, man.
Yeah, well, I apologize.
Yeah. Felt like we were kids again for a hot second. I said, God, dog.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quiet, but when he leaves, I won't be talking again.
Well, after you ate somebody turkey wings, you just like, I'm gonna give him a pass.
Yeah, he started shoveling that food in his mouth. It was hilarious. I said, that's my brother Chris. He has a knack. It doesn't matter.
I ain't got all night, so I'm gonna get right into it. I've been looking at the covers of many magazines. Hey, women have sent these to us. I've seen the new one with Michael B. Jordan and Mr. Majors. They have the most intimate, delicate Sexuality challenging photos. Even the cover of was it Ebony magazine or was it Essence? It's irrelevant at this point. But the campaign this week, hey, I appreciate brothers that get in shape. Both of them have nice physiques. They, worked out for the movie Creed. But watching another black man on the cover with his legs crossed with some thigh high boots, no shirt, rose petals around, or seeing another photo shoot where they're on each other's shoulders, they're doing poses like this. I said, there's no way that nobody can say they don't see the agenda to kind of take the masculinity away from us or kind of just paint this. It's okay to be French in the Riviera with a thong on. There's another young lady who will remain nameless who told me that she doesn't believe that there is an agenda to feminize men. There's no attack on black masculinity. And it seems to be a thing because reading the comments, you've seen women that was co-signing it. And that just had me in belief. There's no way it's like being masculine is called toxic. And the stuff that we see is cheered on as amazing. And before I go to Chris, NAACP, y'all can go to hell. Censor me for it. You gave the presidential award for courage to D Wade and Gabrielle Union for what? Come on, man. Hey, I don't care if they cancel me for a week. Bro, I'll take all the hate mail. Courage for what? Sorry, Chris Leo. I was going to go on a rant. That's supposed to be you being angry, but go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I'm going first. All right. Well, check this out. Okay, so the Jonathan Majors couple, in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, what I think it is what is art and fashion, whatever. Now, I'm not the guy to come to when it comes to fashion. I still dress like I'm a 2000 rapper. I don't own suits. I don't have open toe shoes. I never wore my ankles out and stuff like that. So I'm not a fashionable guy. So maybe this is out of my wheelhouse. And honestly, I feel like I'm a big hypocrite when it comes to this. Because what I say is that I can't stand the Jonathan Majors couple. I sit here and scream to the rooftop. This is attack on black masculinity. Something wrong with it. I completely in for the fight on that one. But what I'm saying is, when I see that cover, I think it's Ebony appealing to their audience. You got the black guy. He's new. He's the new face or whatever, and then you put him in something furry and pink. So I think the black women is going to buy that up. So, but I get mad about it. But then I have no problem with Andre 3000 when he used to do the same thing, and I was perfectly fine with that. I seen him in a platinum blonde wig. But like I say, I can spot out that, and this is why I feel like I'm a big hypocrite when it comes to that. Is I hate stuff like that, but then I accept it sometimes. Meaning, well, how can I say this? I hate. Okay, like let's take Madea for instance. I can't stand Madea. Can't stand it. I think it's a poor representation of a black man. But I loved when Martin was Shanae. I love when Martin was Big Mama. I love when Jamie Foxx was what's it called? Wanda. So I accept it sometimes, but then I won't accept it all the other times. I hate that. Now you got to go back to me on this because I'm all flustered. Just woke up, but it's a bad situation.
Well, let me say this before I go to Zay, who, he may be more soft on this issue because he tries to have relatability on things, so I can appreciate that. But first of all, you're not going to talk about Andre 3000. Nothing Andre did made me question his manhood.
What?
Nothing Andre did made me say Andre gay. right?
Well, Andre dressed just like this stuff.
No. Second of all, the difference is you seen Martin and different people play characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even when they played those characters, they didn't push an agenda. So to me, I think that's where the hypocrisy may have a line. So now you see Medea does movies, but a lot of those movies have, just like most movies, there's such a push to put some kind of LGBT representation in there, right? And for them to battle it, it seems like there's more gay men than straight men in movies because they're just going out of their way to show, they exist, maybe, right?
But that's another thing. That's another thing, dog. Like, we had no problem when David Allen Greer and Damon Wayans was on Living Color snapping their fingers. I thought that was hilarious. But then I get talked about. I'm talking about a gay agenda, but I accepted that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't really think you accepted it though, Chris. I think that we thought it was funny. We still thought that was weird. Like, we didn't, you know what I'm saying, want to do none of that.
We didn't find an agenda then. We can pop it out. We can see an agenda.
Well, we didn't know that
going on our whole time.
You seen
when that was going on. We didn't know those words.
They didn't tell you to be gay. It was a comedy skit.
Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, you good. Because Chris brought up some really good points, like the Wandas and the Shanae's. We laughed at that, and I think that it just got played out like they oversaturated. So we kind of sick of seeing it now at this point. So that's probably our discuss with it. You really messed me up with the Andre 3000 because I never thought about that in that facet. But to what Horace said, we didn't ever think that Dre was gay. We just thought he was weird. You know, they had a whole album like kind of talking about it, like he owned the fact that, you know, he knew he was a little different. But not at one point did you ever think that they were gay. Like those things that we're seeing today, even though women are talking about, oh, it's artsy, and just like you said, you know, they're specimens, fine specimens, and all this other stuff. You know, you got them puckering up, and it's cute to them, and that's what you said. That's their target market, but it's kind of to us suspect. Like, I love y'all to death. I'm not putting my head on your shoulder like a puppy dog for a photo shoot. And then, you know, the women were like, well, you know that it wasn't their idea. And that's what we're talking about. We know it wasn't their idea. We know who runs fashion in the world. It's going to be women and the other people. So if it wasn't a woman taking those pictures, making them be extra than they probably would have been, then it would have been, you know, one of them people. But I'm only saying that because I've heard all type of comparisons, like if that was Brad Pitt or somebody like that, we wouldn't be having this discussion. But they probably would have had a more manlier pose, probably laughing and telling jokes. You feel me? Still happy, still smiling, but not that. I seen dude look very uncomfortable the way he had him, the way man, listen, he had that boy in a chokehold, like Chris Tucker in the other movie, man. So when he was in the jail cell with Faison Love, he was very uncomfortable. That's what it looked like to me. And I don't think that's the depiction that I want to show my son and say, hey, man, be an actor. You can be successful and you can take pictures and look like that. That's what a man looked like. That's never going to come from my mouth from those pictures. So, but that's, again, like Chris said, my opinion. I don't know, Hardy, you got two young boys. I mean, with that magazine, what would you tell them?
Well, first of all, I always tell my sons to make sure you don't overreact on stuff and then put stuff in context. So, so certain things I've been hearing, right? I've been hearing that, is it an agenda being pushed, right? So then you got to ask yourself, what actually is pushing the agenda, right? It's forcing somebody's views on other people or trying to make the world see through their prism or through their views. And I definitely think that has to be the case, only because it was a fashion shoot. So when I think about who runs fashion and magazine, and that's what that was, I agree, a artsy, fashionable, fashion pushing, edgy cover, I have to think it was somebody from the LGBTQ community probably okaying those pictures or pushing that picture. And they are the hierarchy in fashion right now. So when people always say people pushing issues and agendas in fashion, well, I think rappers push their agenda. Rockers push their agenda. I think if you gay and then you in fashion, you gonna express yourself through your art. So the most of the people who in the fashion industry at the top are gay. So they're gonna express themselves through what? Fashion. What it trickles down to is this: people who are not gay are in the fashion world and then you have to go look up to people who are pushing their agenda. Like, this is how I want and express ourselves as a people. It's just like when rappers will bandanas and saggy pants, and people from other groups of walks of life in the suburban America dress like that. They they looked up to those people. So by looking up to those people and wanting to emulate those people, then you end up getting that agenda of hood, you buy the big fila shirts and all, and all that kind of stuff like that. So when you're talking about fashion, it's a whole different thing. I think it was the placement in that magazine to me though. Chris brought up Andre 3000. I agree with that, and we all thought he was dressing gay. We just didn't think he was gay. So let's get that straight. We thought he was dressing gay. We just didn't think he was gay. Because if you're a man wearing pink lapel satin pants and flip flops and all that, is in that era you would think he would, but you just didn't. He just didn't come off as that. But you thought he was dressing that, and you chalked it up as Andre just weird, like Prince. Like you thought assless chaps are gay. I don't care. Every man thought that, but you just thought, oh, it's Prince. He one of those weird push the issue guys, so he's not gay. The thing about that thing is that every mannerism that he had in that magazine spoke to a people. You crossed your legs, you wore high boots, you sit back like this, you post your lips out, like everything. Because if you had been just standing there with that like this, it might have looked good, but it might not have been so. Like you had, it gave me a feminine aura looking at that magazine. And I think that right there, if you know art, that was placement. Like it was somebody saying, put your lips out, put your head up, structure yourself to the side, show the boots. I want this angle. Like all that was placed there to do that. And I just think that I don't know if it was an agenda against us as black men. I think it's definitely them pushing their point of view on the world. Because that's what you do when you're in the driver's seat.
I just again, like I get it. I just feel like I'm a hypocrite. That's why I said I'm a hypocrite. I cannot stand the Jonathan Majors cover, but I sat there and watched Young Thug in a dress, and I still haven't forgave him for that. You know what I'm saying? I pick and choose. Medea,
No, but
I can't stand Medea.
He explained.
But I love Larry Johnson when he was grandmama. So right. It's just for me personally, I feel like I'm a hypocrite. But what I will say is I'm starting to, and I want to make an apology to the ladies. I'm gonna just say it. I do. Because with this Michael B. Jordan situation, I can see that interviewer was correct. Maybe he is corny. He checked her on that red carpet, but maybe he is corny. Maybe she was right for saying that. I was vehemently against Lori Harvey. Maybe that's the reason why she left him. She might have suspected some zestiness in Michael B. Jordan. So I apologize, lady. I might have been wrong on this one.
Correction, though. She didn't say that he was corny. It was the other chick. She corrected that, just so you know. Well, we speak facts on this show.
They might have been right.
It's a possibility. But Vanessa brought up a great point. They did have the opportunity to say no, they ain't gonna do that. But then in this era of you got to get the money, they didn't want to stop their check. And again, like you said, it was art. That's kind of been the going phrase for it. It was art. So I think we got to classify it as art.
All right. Well, let's be honest. Everybody in Hollywood said that they run Hollywood. A certain group runs Hollywood. And it either make or break you. Some have even said that it's an initiation phase that you have to go through to do certain things if you want to be a megastar, and some people do it. So I know in the music industry that is a sad thing. So, the topic came up, and I just shared it, and I had some opinion on it because it just seemed like it's so redundant. You know what I mean? People went after Andrew Tate, for saying XYZ when he was speaking to men, right? And then they say, oh, it's too masculine. Then you had the situation with Kevin Samuels, who was strictly talking to men about being better men, stronger men. And then all of a sudden he was under attack. But the guy with the chapstick or the other guys, I don't know his name, they get pushed. people hallelujah them. Oh yeah, when they pushing you to be something totally almost like a simp, to be honest. So I can't. A win is a win for them. So I'm gonna take it another night. We actually got somebody gonna join the show because at some point because they are going to be throwing an event this weekend, or not this weekend, next month called Old School Reunion, and they've been trying to come on for the longest. But we will get to them in a second. Lolly, Chris.
Oh, okay. What's up? Best handles I ever seen in Columbus County.
The best? We're going to talk to them on that. The best?
Best handles ever in Palm Beach County, ever.
Damn, that's a hell of a statement. You got to take us on a whole nother journey in a minute, right?
Yeah, real. I remember a lot of back when he went to Jupiter with my older brother. Best handles ever in Palm Beach County.
Well, he was a globetrotter, so yeah, come on in, Lolly. We're gonna start this next. Come on. Check it out. So the next topic that I had on there was what was an unpopular opinion that you feel strongly about, but many people won't agree with. And I had so many that I could have went with. But after watching a clip today, I'm gonna go political instead of going relationship. My unpopular opinion is Black people are too emotional. That's how we respond to everything emotionally. We don't plan. So the unpopular opinion is Black people did better under Donald Trump, and there was a chance for us to have some kind of advancement in America. That's the popular opinion. Right now, we voted against somebody because of the comments that he made that did not affect you. He talked about everybody but us. And then most people I know personally could say, dang, I was doing pretty good during this time. Now you guys voted in a person whose track record showed no Black activity. He never showed that he had a Black agenda. And since he's been in office, he's not did one thing that he said he was going to do for Black America. In fact, this man, just like I knew him to be, pushes white supremacy. People say don't use that word. It is a real thing. Student loans weren't forgiven. The economy is in a crisis. I can't think of anything that he's did Black, but the biggest issue I would say is this man continues to send money to a country that is known to be a Nazi training ground, breeding camp. So if you can give $1 trillion to another country, then tell the people they can collect Social Security when most Americans have to go and file and get denied just to get their Social Security and disability benefits, shows me the respect that this man has for Black America. So that's my popular opinion. Black Americans, get out your emotions. You did better under Trump. Black Democrats, y'all keep on trying to be American. I don't even know what y'all trying to do, but yeah, America's about money, and it's a monopoly board. Until you own a house, a business, or establish yourself, you do not exist in America. So I really want to tell people, shame on y'all, because this man every day, I know a lot of people regret voting for Biden, and I don't think you're going to see too much more from Kamala Harris. That's my unpopular opinion. Who up next with the unpopular opinion? Zay?
I'll wait.
I bet.
You better know it.
Yeah, so I go. Yeah, I think one of mine is I think segregation helped us more than integration did. I think right now I had the great. I was coming back from out of town. I went to see my daughter this weekend, and I was coming back. And then the Minister Farrakhan was on, and so I listened to him going back into on the road, coming back, just listen to him. And then I've been sending out. I watch a couple financial channels, and I've been listening to a bunch of stuff, and then just trying to get my finances right, and then understanding like they always go back to the most powerful years of America, right? And across the board in every demographic, it's the like 70s, like around that time right there, the 70s and right the 80s, right before crack hit, right? And I was like, man, that was like right before like Jim Crow like really became effective. And it's because of the Black Wall Streets and so many other places like that that was already thriving. Because one thing segregation did is force us to spend money with each other. And another thing it did is not allow the rich people or the people that come up to take money out of the hood. See, one of the biggest things as I get more and more into the housing market, people don't know I work in it like in several different facets, is this. One of the biggest things we do to take wealth out of our neighborhoods is get rich and move away. Right? So every other ethnic group stays in their neighborhood when they're rich. Like, so a middle class and a rich person can stay right down the street from each other. But in the black neighborhood, most of the people who reach over $60,000, they move, and then they take those resources and take them to another neighborhood, right? But when you had segregation, you had a doctor staying right up the street to a dude who worked in the warehouse, a warehouse worker staying right to the dude who worked in the market. So then your children walked out the door and seen the doctor, knew the doctor, talked to the doctor. He also got what? A job at the doctor's office eventually. All this kind of stuff happened because we seen wealth. And then when you need to borrow money, the doctor was right there because you knew him. You knew his mama. So you was more acceptable to getting money or putting somebody on. But now it's such a long lineage because you stay in Jupiter, but then I stay in Rivera. We went to high school together. We ain't seen each other in 30 years. And we don't know each other no more. And that hurt the black community more than anything. Then I'm not going to go on anymore, but I just want to say this too. Also, what that does is lower property value. So now your house are worthless in the hood. So then now you can't pull out more money. You can't borrow against your home more because there's nobody with substantial money putting it into the community. So now if you want to stay in the hood, and even if you want to, and you make a lot of money, it's hard to stay there because any financial advisor is going to tell you that's one of the worst things you can do because you actually buying at a deficit when you start purchasing homes in the hood. And that is just like, it's like you working against yourself. So I always going to say, a lot of times we get, and it made me open my eyes, where I buy houses at more often, that because without us, we're going to keep being screwed over. We're going to keep being screwed over, man. And it's just like, I believe that them forcing us to stick together was helping us more than us just running to join a group that still hasn't accepted us to this day.
All right, that was a better popular opinion than I had, because that's absolutely right. That's why I love listening to Claude Anderson.
Right.
Man, that dude's a beast. And we talk about economics, and I think that's what we need to embrace more as Black people in this country: economics, because economics change a lot in this country. Chris Leo, you got an unpopular opinion?
I got two, so maybe Zay should go, but I got two. And it's personal.
Okay, well, go for it, because Zay over there.
Okay, well,
can't really see him.
They kind of. I don't exactly have an unpopular opinion. I have a unpopular opinion about a popular opinion. My first one is this: self-love. That whole movement. I don't agree with self-love. We had a interview on the show. We appreciated her coming out, but she said something. You gotta love yourself before you can love anybody else. I think that's crap. I think what we've learned about love, when you practice self-love, you get better at loving yourself. And then the more you practice, you become a master at it. Now, I don't understand how being a master of loving yourself is translatable to a relationship, because love is selfish. Love is selfless, not selfish. So you have to give love. I don't believe that you have to love yourself to love someone else. Our first experiences with love normally comes from our mother. Now, with our mother, we give so many women credit for putting their kids first. Going without to get for their kids to have. That's sacrifice, and we consider that love. But in no situation does we tell the mama to put yourself first, do for you first, or you can't do for the kids. It just doesn't make sense. Also, even the first teaching about love normally comes from religion and God. God had no commandment saying love thyself. He said love thy neighbor. So I don't believe how loving yourself translates to, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. I just don't believe that. And two, and I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, especially Horace's. I think it's an unpopular opinion that the devil can bless you. I hear y'all went over that on the show. I cannot fathom how that works. How is it possible for the devil to bless you? So I tried to do some research on it. I'm recently getting into studying the Bible. There is no section in the Bible where the devil gives you anything, not one thing, not one section where he actually gives somebody something. We see in the Bible that the devil promises things, but a promise is not giving you anything. And what is our key phrase that we say about the devil? The devil's a lie. That's what we say. So I talk to spiritual advisors that I have. I ask, show me somewhere where the devil gave anybody anything. I've been to church basically my whole life. One thing I've heard about the devil was he came to kill, lie, and destroy. Lie, steal, and destroy. What? None of that says blessing. The definition of blessing, by definition, the devil cannot do. I think so many times, I believe this 100%. We created God in our image instead of the other way around. Instead of God creating us in theirs. We created God in our image, and we did the same thing with the devil. We give the devil God-like powers when I don't believe he deserves it. So I don't care how many times you post some other content creator saying it, Horace, it ain't the damn truth. The devil cannot bless you. And I implore you to find me one section in the Bible where the devil gave anybody anything.
Well, I would go on a long tirade, but we got a 1 hour show. We went over this before, but just like the devil know how to play with them words, and I'm not gonna let that devil use you tonight, Chris.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah, listen, your devil is
listen, you've been on the road the last 24 hours. So
just saying, y'all show me anybody anything.
Listen, all right, I got the time.
Let me bring that was that same.
Lolly, welcome to the show.
What's up, fellas, man? Thank y'all for having me, man. I really appreciate y'all, boy.
You look like Zay cousin over there. Turn the light on.
I'm in my guest room, right? That's better.
Yeah, that's a little better.
We're gonna take it as you come, like the church do, since we talking about God and religion tonight. Somebody,
hey, man, I ain't gonna lie, boy.
What?
Hey, Chris, that was a real game. I have to agree with you on that, man.
When?
I ain't gonna lie.
When did he ever give anybody anything?
Yeah.
When did he never? Even when we talked about it on the last show, it was said that he promised God everything if he just did something against God. That's a promise, and that's a lie. Yeah. He couldn't even give you something that's supposed to be already his. That's right. What can the devil bless you with? And nothing. Like, how can he get out of that?
Yeah.
Boy,
I got to side with you on that one, my brother. I got to side with him on that one.
You should have been there Sunday then, Lolly, because boy, that's that same speech. Got him. Curse the hell out. I'm telling you.
Listen, Lolly, you have an unpopular opinion that's not something that's really supported, that's controversial. You ain't got to go down the revival route as Chris, but any unpopular opinion? Because we could go a whole hour with me and Chris talk about that.
Nah, but you know me. I heard his. I haven't heard yours. I ain't see that show Sunday. I'm about to go back. I ain't hear yours, but the points he made and what he hit on was he was busting that shit up. So I got to hear how do the devil bless people? I got to hear your side. I mean, I heard his. I'm like him. I can't recall the devil giving anybody anything.
Anywhere.
Saying, you know what I mean, making promise to people, blessing people with stuff. I never heard nobody say, God, devil, I hope you bless me with this job. Devil, I hope you bless me with this money. I feel the same way. I ain't gonna front. I think he was on point with that, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta side
So
with
let
his
me ask you
views on
something.
that one.
So Lala, when you was out, well, not you, because you ain't never did it, but when a joker out there trapping on the streets and the joker just sold somebody some fake coke and came up on a grand, and he said, "Boy, the Lord bless me." Was it did God bless him?
According to Future,
Nah, that
yes.
ain't no. Come on, man. That ain't no blessing. That's like you rob the bank and get away with it. You can't say God bless me when you do stuff that's negative, bro.
Do people do that?
A lot of people say it, but they don't make it right.
100%.
What the hell
Well,
you
that's
talking
why I
about?
want to use. So who blessed them? Who the devil don't even God don't even entertain any darkness, any foolishness. So
Right.
Chris is taking something that I talked about on a different show and intentionally came in with some I don't want to say half-ass stuff, but
Nah, bro. If that's
You
the
said
case,
you taking
it's
it.
like
listen to
like when people don't believe in the devil and God, they'll say something like things happen. Shit happen. You know what I mean? So you rob a bank and get away with it, shit happen. That ain't no blessing, bro.
yeah, but that's
Right.
the point. Lolly, go listen to the show with me and Pastor Jamie. That's one thing I can say. The spirit of confusion is a mofo, but do you have an unpopular
You
opinion?
What would be
said
the point
Sunday?
of
You did
serving
that
God then?
Sunday?
No, that's a
You did
while
that
back we
Sunday?
did it. Me and Pastor Jamie did a show, and then we even had a segment on here where we discussed the whole thing. So Chris can have his
Yeah.
unpopular opinion. I agree with it, but I'm not gonna sit on here and debate with him the night.
I know.
I'm gonna go and look at it, and then I inbox you, call you and tell you how I feel, how my views is, has it switched or it stay the same. But right now, I'm gonna lean towards Chris Leo. I'm gonna
And
have to
that's
lean
good.
towards him right now.
Man,
But that's what life is.
I
You
think
don't
I
gotta agree with me. How you feel, that's your opinion. That's the whole point of shows and
Yeah, I'm saying
conversation. You can agree with them. I don't have to agree with them.
right. I understand that. I'm saying if you can show me something different, I might can side with you a little bit. But I'm just saying, right now, until I watch that segment with you had with the pastor, I'm gonna have to go without. I'm gonna have to go with them beliefs. I can't. I don't believe the devil can bless you, bro. I just don't.
Okay.
Who would want a blessing from the devil?
And if he could, then what's the purpose of serving God when I can get all these blessings on earth and eternally I can reign for him? Like why would he do nothing but destroy you? But that's my opinion.
Okay. Again, Lila, do you have a unpopular opinion to share? Or that's right. You say you didn't.
Yeah. You what you talking about monogamous? Bro, I just think that's the person, man. Like I've been married to my wife for 6 years, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't thought about having sex with another woman. You know what I'm saying? It's just the what's in you, bro. Like it's easy to cheat, man. Cause you know guys like us, and I be telling everybody, like any guy who got their shit together can get down to any girl they want. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to step out. I mean, it's I'm not gonna say it's hard to be faithful, but that's something you gotta want to do, Horace. You know what I mean? And me and Mario, I think we the only two in the group right now that's married.
Mhm.
And he could tell you the same thing, man. You wanna honor your wife, honor your family, and things of that and things of that nature. That you know what I'm saying, that when you go out, you can trust that you represent the whole family. You feel me? So then when you build something, bro, and it's something so good, you don't want to mess it up, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess it up. And I mean, there's a lot of people that can't do it. So that's when that's the thing that's going on right now. People having 2 and 3 girls at the same time. And some women are agreeing with it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, bro, I'm just locked in with what I got going on with my situation and my family, man. When you building the empire, you know what I mean? Them outside things can tear it down real quick. And y'all know what I mean. Cause they walking around every day. You know, hey Mar, you know it. If you get more try you when you're married than you're not, bro. You know how that go.
Well,
I
let me well,
definitely do.
let me backtrack and introduce the conversation.
For
The
real. You ain't
question
lying.
that I sent you was, can Mario last week said there's a path to monogamy. So I was going to ask Mario the week can some men never be monogamous or is it a journey? Because Mario said last week it was a path. I think that's what you said, Mario.
Right, because I
Time
think
out. Wait a minute, Harder. Wait a minute. All y'all got to state y'all opinion. I did not. Before we go there,
you tapped out.
because
Did
I
he not
figured it
tap
out.
out, Chris?
I actually didn't tap out. I said I wait, and you didn't because you brought Lala in. Just ease up. Let me get my point out, and it's gonna lead into what Hart is about to say. But the unpopular opinion that I hear a lot is I hear a lot of women blame fathers that are not in the home for the kids that don't make it to be successful. But the kids that make it to be successful, they take all the glitz and the glory, and the father that was absent had nothing to do with that. That I have an issue with because I actually feel like it's the teacher that's at home that teaches the messed up ways that the kids actually get, not the teacher that's not in the class. However, that's my unpopular opinion, and they may not see it that way. I do. But which goes into what you guys are talking about, because now when y'all come together, oh my God, what a beautiful thing. But go right on ahead, Hardy, what you was telling us about the monogamy.
Oh no, I think it's monogamy ain't nothing to me except for discipline, right? So what Lolly was alluding to, what he was alluding to is just real. Like he was saying outside stuff and everything. Well, see, once a man can understand and maximize his discipline in any area in his life, then he's working at his highest level of life. That's when you're working out. That's when you're saving money. That's when you can delay your gratification, because we all know, and we all love women. We all understand. We have worked all our life and mastered every art to obtain women. That is something that when you get to around our age and you've acquired the things we had, it becomes unfair. It becomes easy almost. Like you can get a woman. Like that's not nothing new. But to tell yourself to break all those bad habits, to lean forth on not what you just want, but on what's going to make a better future for you, on what's going to set your whole generation of family up. Because being married have its ups and downs, just like everything else in life, like your job, like your work, like everything else. But one thing I always notice is when it comes to marriage, every down get pinpointed and magnified to the utmost because it wants to be like, that's why you shouldn't get married. See, look at this. But the same thing happened at a job. But people don't just go around preaching, that's why you shouldn't work and sit home on your ass. But I'll leave that alone to another story. But I just say to each his own. But I always say, to me, what Lottie was saying, I think monogamy, right? I think monogamy is the biggest form of a man who's been out here showing discipline, right? Because if you can turn down women, when you're able to get all the women that you want, and I think that takes a different level of discipline that you got over your life to be able to turn down so much other stuff when the devil throw it at you. That's just why I believe. I believe because when my wife not around, when nobody's there looking, and it's nobody but me and God walking, and I'm saying no, that's my discipline. That has nothing to do with me scared of getting caught. That has nothing to do with me worried about how that's going to trip up. That's me staying on course. It's just like when I tell somebody about the gym. I can't be with you when you eat that cheeseburger, when you leave the gym. If that's on you, that's your discipline. If you want to look like this, if you want to don't look like that. So I think it's a path to monogamy, but you got to look at it as being disciplined. And if you don't value discipline, what most people are going to say is, man, it ain't really that. They're going to make excuses because it's something that you don't want to do because it takes work. And we see that in this world, most people that you got to work for stuff, you try to find another way around it. You try to find, like I said, I want to be married, but I don't want to be monogamous. So I'm going to be married and we're going to have a whole bunch of women. And we're going to just, I want to be married, but I don't want to sacrifice. So I'm going to be a dictator. I want to be married, but I'm a self, like Chris said. I want to be married, but I don't want to love my wife more than I love me. So I'm going to practice self-love. And it's going to be all about me. That's what I'm saying. Everybody want to just dictate how something's supposed to go. No, it's a give and a take. I tell people every day, if my job when I wake up in the morning is love my wife and do the best I can for my family. If she wake up and do the same thing, then guess what? Both of us going to win. Every day. Yep. Every day. But, I think it's just an unpopular opinion. But as I definitely believe it's a road to monogamy. I think it just starts with a man having discipline. You got to have discipline, bro. Because if you don't have discipline, you dead on that. There's always going to be somebody out there who's going to give you an offer that you can't refuse. You the one got to refuse it.
Well, let me ask you this, Zay, Chris, and Horace. Like, with the thing with me was like, I'm like, man, like all us from the hood, bro. I ain't trying to put nobody business out there, but we probably all lost our virginity at a young age, bro. I was just saying, like, how many different women we got to have sex with too? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that pointed me to monogamy. Like I done did enough. Ain't nothing else that I can say that damn I got to do this. You feel me? I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to ask y'all three. What else is left for y'all to do that y'all can't be? You know what I'm saying? I don't know your business, but I'm just asking.
I'll be real with you, Lolly. You missed the conversation, but I think Hardy was talking about the path to monogamy is something that's not talked about, right? Not
Oh,
it's not
okay.
preached about, like you said, how to get women and things like that. Everyone told you how to do that. They pushed you to do that, but no one pushed you to get one woman and just be with her. They just always told you that you need to get one woman. So I think that it is a fear because we're men, we have ego, and we have fear
Wow.
of failing. So we don't
Yeah.
want to look stupid with one woman, and then she got all these list of dudes that we joke about, the food guy, the money guy, all that other stuff. So we got to keep one in the hip pocket because that's what the players told us. The old players who've been around the block and taught us when we were younger. Because you got to remember what Hardy said: all the prominent ones moved away and left, and the other ones that were here, we didn't think that much of them till we got older. Like now, and we see who was really the fool and who was not. But by this time, we got 30, 40 years of foolishness in us. It's hard to break old habits, but you gotta, like Hardy said, have the discipline to want to do it. So it starts. You got to build the courage up. Like, damn, we always joke. We joked about the Outcast, the player anthem when he does it. I hate to see you. At least I love to see you smile. I hate to see you frown. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you hate to see them frown, but you want to see your wife smile. How do I do this? And a lot of guys just don't have it in them to say, I don't know what I'm doing. So therefore,
Wow.
you revert back to what you already know how to do. And that's why I like when I get an opportunity to speak to women and you see a man trying, going in the direction, better learn how to pat that man on the shoulder and give him his flowers because he's trying. If you keep on telling him how much of a dog he is and all this other stuff, you know how to do that really, really well. He gonna revert back to them old ways. You never ever get what you want. But that's just what I see. I see that there's not really it's not harped on inside of our demographics on how to actually do it outside of you just better do it. So if that why can be met, the how can be easy. But I think that we don't have that part. That's just what I get. And I could be totally wrong, but I'd love to hear what you guys got to say to that.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably the worst one to ask this question because I've never been monogamous in my life. But I think the first step is
We can learn the most.
I'm just saying, like I had to take AA classes before to get myself out of trouble, and I learned in those classes the first step is admitting it. That's one thing it never happened, and then the next step is trying. I don't have a plan on it. I'm just gonna try. I don't know how to do it. I don't know who to come to really. I mean, I talked to Hardy. We got another friend, artist Newbie, who's been with his wife 22 years. I talk to them when it comes to trying to establish how to be faithful and how to be monogamous because I've never tried it, but I honestly believe that monogamy is when a man is the only time where a man don't process things logically. I think men process things for logic and reason, and they cost benefit deductors. I think that this is when a man becomes monogamous. This is the only time where he's not being logical because monogamy for a man, in my opinion, goes against his logics, his biological history, all of that. But he's making a choice to say, I go beyond, past all of that just to be monogamous with you. And I think that has something to do with value. When I believe that when women are monogamous to us because we create value, meaning I bring something to the table that you value so much you don't want to lose. And I think that that's what we have to be getting in return to be monogamous. For me to be monogamous with you, you must, for one, give me a feeling that cheating, give me an equivalent feeling that cheating gives me. Cheating usually gives you an ego boost, a boost of serotonin, and makes you feel. I ain't never heard somebody go cheat and say, "Dang, now I'm feeling terrible." You know what I'm saying? It gives you some kind of boost. But with her, you gotta feel the same. You gotta feel the same way. Like just being around her gives me a similar feeling. I can't be the same exact, but it gives me a similar feeling of when I sneak off and cheat. I think it's on both parties to give the other person a reason to only want them. It's selfish for me to ask you to just be with me when I don't give you the bare minimum to be with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my opinion. If you don't do nothing for a woman, how can you expect monogamy? So I think to wrap it all up, I think that for us to be monogamous, for one, is you got to try it. You just got to give it a shot. You just like everything else in the world. You don't know what you're doing. You try. And two, you want to find somebody that makes you feel like I can't. It's not worth losing you. It's not worth you losing you, and that means you got to put it on the woman to give you something in return. A lot of men is being monogamous, and they the one that's doing all the work. It ain't like this woman is giving them a reason. It ain't like she's loving them in a certain way that elevates them. He just doing this because he don't want to seem like a bad person. I would rather do it because the woman gives me so much value that I just don't want to lose. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I just push back on you on one spot, though, Chris. With men, we got to lead by example, and I think PJ said it earlier out in the show where he was saying you got to give in order to receive. So as the artist was talking about the discipline and stuff like that, the things and I think that's what we got to work on if we're gonna get there is just giving out that monogamy that you're saying, and they'll give it back. But you're saying that the woman got to give you something to be monogamous too. Let's lead. I know you're Chris Leo, you talk about manly stuff all the time. You got to lead.
Well, a lot of men is broken up with that theory in your mind. No, you should get something for what this should be an exchange. You should get something for what you put out. But look, you can be shortchanged if you want to, Zay. I want it. You got to give me something for my monogamy. My monogamy, my attention, my love, everything has a goddamn price. I'm not a free boy.
But you just said that love was selfless. You saying some selfish shit. But all right, I mean, I understand to each his own. I just was pointing that point out to you.
Well, I'm never gonna come on this show and just say stuff that y'all want to hear, and some people might call it. You don't even agree with some of the stuff I say, but it's my thoughts. It's my opinion to have. I do think monogamy for some is a journey, because if a dude go from having all the chicks all the time and going through them, for him to just go cold turkey the next day is just, it has to be something mind blowing. Like Chris say, like I met somebody that I don't want to lose, so I'm gonna discipline myself to try to keep her. But it's gonna be a struggle because his body, the physical parts of his body, is still used to that. So that's when God, spirituality, all the other stuff comes into form, because physically, before you gain some emotional intelligence, you pretty much really revving off of physical needs and whatnot. And to be honest, I think it's harder because of the demand for a decent dude nowadays. Allegedly, I think it's women should come in men that's monogamous because it's hard. Just like y'all said, it could be a good dude. Lala could be a good dude, married, wife and kids, and the same people will come up and be in his end by trying to get him to not be a good dude and not monogamous, right? Or a single man that says, hey, I'm dating this person. I'm single, but me dating 4 or 5 women because I'm trying to figure out who I like, I'm going to pick this person, but that trait, my habits, have to come to a halt. So that's when like I said, I had to meet somebody. She supplies other stuff besides the physical. Physical is damn sure still a part of it, but I'm saying the physical, you're going to have a soulful connection with them and whatnot. So I think it's a journey. A lot of people, unless I know some dudes that came up with a 2-parent home and they didn't even try to get in the streets. They went straight to, hey, my mom and dad were married. I'm going to find me a wife and build, because they were taught that, hey, this is the best way to live. 2 people together, you're going to build a union. This is a good roadmap for success. Most of us didn't have that. My uncles gauged me off. Hell, my dad, the first thing he would always say is you doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you having sex? Nothing else mattered. That's what he would ask me a lot of times. So hell, when I start having sex is amazing. But for me to just say the next day that, I think that's what gets a lot of dudes, that whole transfer from one lifestyle to another. Yes, Chris.
Can you put Norman's comment up?
Don't do it, Chris. Oh boy.
Hey, you know what led me to that role, man. I always said if I got married, I'm gonna do right by my wife, man. I just wanted to. I'm not gonna be out there. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Once I got married, I just like. I deleted every number in my phone, all that stuff, bro. I didn't want no temptations because I just wanted to do right, not by my wife, by myself. I want to do right by God. I wanted that version of trying to be the best husband, the best father I can be. You know what I'm saying? And that is like one of the main reasons that I don't do stuff like that, bro. Because I said, once I get married, the shit is a wrap. Now, so once I lock in, even when I was locked in, you know what I'm saying? Like the one I was going to be with my wife, I was like, nah, I'm straight. Anybody that came in my inbox, anybody that try to give me something for tickets, all that crazy shit, I ain't want it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to just make sure I was doing the right thing. That was like my path to monogamy. I don't know about Hardy, but mine was like I just want to do right by my wife and family. You know what I'm saying? About God house.
No, what you guys on, Chris? I would say 1,000%. I always question myself. How do people who don't believe in God stay faithful? Because I always say that because Chris brought up my wife. My monogamy has shit to do with my wife. It has something to do with my relationship and my relationship with God. So I always say my hats are off to people who be totally monogamous, because I can see where Chris coming from on his end. Because if you take the God out of it, a lot of it don't make sense, and then it will have to be reciprocated. But to me, I can cheat and not get caught, and my wife not be hurt, and not all that kind of stuff, and she still give me what she wants. So to live up to your reality, I can still get what I want, but God knows. See, that's the thing. I want to be the guy who I can look in the mirror and say, bro, I didn't cheat. Out of all these dudes out here who married, who fucking over, who just playing marriage, who just running through the streets, I'm not that guy. I am not that guy. I don't care what they do. I know I did. If my wife go cheat tomorrow, I can look anybody in the face and say, bro, I didn't do that. I did exactly what I intended to do. When I stood at that altar, I was not capping. I was telling the truth. I mean, I love you. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to protect you. Because I didn't have to stand there and say that. I could have just kept being in this world doing what the hell I want to. But I chose this, so I'm going to do it the right way. That's why I do it. So I understand what Chris is saying, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm ignorant to what he's saying. I do want that, but I believe when you really love somebody, bro, and much as you understand women, and you've been around women, and you know what you're not going to take, in order for me to marry her, she had already showed me that she was willing to give me and be the person I was, right? But my monogamy was not tied to that. My choosing her and going down that road was tied to that because I felt comfortable with her. She made me feel like she was a life partner. Well, above all, she made me feel like she was tied to my purpose for what God had for me. So then once I aligned that, then I had to say, God got me on the road. I believe this is the person he gave to help me for when I get weak on this road and on this. That's what it is. But if you don't have that, I always ask them people, bro, I don't know how you do it. Without God, I don't know how you stay monogamous.
I don't have tickets that Lale be talking about. Next time, give me the damn ticket. But what I was gonna say, something that a trait, and I could be wrong here, fellas. I could be wrong here because I know very few faithful guys. But a trait that I see in the guys that I think is faithful. Let's take Mario for instance. Let's take Lolly for instance. Let's even take Artist Newbie, which I brought up before. When I talk to them, the trait that I see is these guys stay busy. They take different experiences in life and try to that feeling that you get from cheating, try to substitute that with something. Hardy,
Yeah.
I take Hardy for instance. He go hunting. That gives you that thrill of success or achievement. He just bought a Harley. He's in the car. He's doing things to prioritize his time and not to put it into the energy into getting the women. Lolly, you're coaching. You got your regular job. You're doing parties. You're doing all these things. These things is what keeps your mind focused on anything other than getting the cat. Because what is one thing I tell you, that idle time you go try to spend it. We're gonna try to fill it with women. So what
that's what the devil give you though, Chris.
Huh?
The devil may work for them idle hands. That's the one promise he got for you.
Yeah, and then he be blessed. But what I'm saying is, again, they just you have to fill yourself up with things that gives you that same feeling. Well, not the feeling, somewhat of the same feeling, that so you don't have to be out there chasing women to give you that feeling.
Hey, Chris, let me not to cut you off. And guess what? And guess
what you just said, Chris.
Guess what all those things you just said do? Create generational wealth, build up the community, sustain life, learn man skills. So what you just said is, you're right. People who, instead of getting entangled and pulled out here into frivolous behavior that only satisfies me, I can build. And that's what you're right. And I agree with that. And that's what marriage does. It puts you to another level of building of other stuff. Like, you're making shit better. And I think that's just so overlooked. That's why, bro, Lottie been married for 6 years. That's why I said, like, that should inspire me. I always tell y'all, I'm still new to this, but to hear other men come out, because I agree with Chris. I don't know a lot of married men who really committed in monogamy.
Keep it a buck.
I'm agreeing with them too. And
damn sure they can't say it in public.
Yeah,
and,
and there's more of them though.
Bro, me and Chris
there's
talking
more of
about
them than it's not.
That shit hurt me. That shit kind of broke me. I was like, God damn, bro, you too? Like, not judging, but just like, come on, bro. I'm thinking real brotherhood.
That's crazy, bro. I was the same shit. I be having, man, right hand man, like, boy, y'all about to go. I'm like, man, I don't know how y'all could do that shit, bro. I got to live through you, man. Tell me all about it. I ain't doing it. I got to live through y'all, bro. Tell me all about it.
But now you understand what the importance, like the way how Hardest phrased that question last week. You know what I'm saying? And like, your heart is a testament. Lolly, you're a testament. You feel me? Papa Artist Newbie, you're a testament. You feel me? And I think that y'all should really probably get together. We should take a segment out so that y'all can kind of talk about your walk. Not to say that it's a blueprint, but to give them another peer, because like Chris always vehemently says, we've seen too many guys that have been married that, they out here. And it doesn't make guys like myself or Chris be like, why get married? Why get married? I can sit here and do the same thing without feeling like y'all feel, because they already know versus I'm out here and I'm married and then all the girls shoot them because, well, you got that girl looking stupid. You understand what I'm saying? And then you think that you the man, but you really the sucker. Because they don't really respect you. They talk about you. You know what I'm saying? Keep it a buck. But, what do I know? I'm just saying. But I think more conversations need to be had about how it's a simple thing to do. It's not easy. Like, it's simple because all you got to do is really just do it. But the not easy part come into work. You feel me? And Chris Hardy kind of talked to you. You actually fixed what I was saying, because he was telling you what he decided to do. You actually said it for them. You said it for Lolly as well. What they be doing, because they made up in their mind that I'm gonna do this. I'm a coach. I'm gonna put my energy into this. Because just like you asked about, the devil make work out of hands. When you got a whole bunch of time, you got time to think of mischievous stuff and not build, like I said. So that's just what I picked up from the conversation, guys. I appreciate that, because I'm still a student. You know what I'm saying? They taught me terribly, so it is what it is.
Well, let's talk to Horace. Horace was married. He has an extended.
Oh, he liked to side with married.
He was faithful. So how did you do it?
Yeah. How you keep the Defoli in your pants?
Zay.
Defoli.
Zay. for quality assurance, I'm damn near liable to let you take you off the screen because you like
He be acting like he an expert or something.
Bro, I am just
I'm not.
flabbergasted with this
I'm a
damn
student. I stay green so I can grow.
Well, you ain't got
Sometimes
I love
he
it
be
now.
quiet, and the night he is just goddamn. I don't even know what's the person I want to say.
It's
But
talking.
he just
It's all right.
Oh boy, they would
I'm
be your
learning.
marriage advice.
That's a good.
No, I'm waiting to hear your marriage advice.
Yeah. I want to hear Tootie. I want to. Yeah, that's a good. You was faithful too, though, while you was married. Like that's a good point that Chris brought out. What fueled you?
One understanding the responsibility. I already my fears kind of molded the first half of my relationship. One, I have such a fear of being a failure, being homeless, being a failure, and not being able to tell somebody he think look at God. I have such a fear of somebody.
And they said the devil can't bless you.
Devil bless me tonight. Get out of here. Listen, on some real stuff, man. No, that's the thing. I feel less when if my kids say they need something, I can't give it to them, right? The same way with if when you got a wife, man, you know they already put that so much on. You're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be this, and that. I walked into a blind just knowing that I had somebody that I thought was special. I didn't want to lose them. And for the first time, I had somebody I said I wanted to take care of. I never had that feeling before, right? But my whole thing through our journey, I wanted to choose a hardworking person. I wanted us to have a house. I really wanted to achieve dreams stuff with her. So that was the thing. That was probably what shaped me, Chris. Both of us had similar lives. So, like they say, sometimes people will bond over trauma. So I think that really made us close as a couple. Not saying it was healthy, but I really wanted to achieve a lot of goals with her. She was an excellent mother to my kids. Spiritually, I actually felt comfortable letting her know I didn't know so much about God as me. So I felt comfortable talking to my wife about this, and that. There's a time that I got offended with it because I didn't, men have our pride and ego. But one thing I never wanted to do was embarrass her. So that probably shaped me from being faithful. Now I will say I did something unknowingly, cheated in a way that I didn't know. When we was going through our ways and our issues, yeah, I'll be on Instagram liking stuff and liking pictures and whatnot, which she said was was hurting her. And as a man, I can honestly say that back then, more pride, I didn't understand that. But when your wife says something bothering her or she feels disrespectful, you should take that to what you call it. But me, I'm like, it's Instagram. I'm gonna say I like the picture. I'm liking pictures and all that shit. But to women, it means something else. And I'd be damn if other women don't go and be like, girl, look at her liking this shirt picture. Us, we just liking the picture. It means nothing to us. But to them, it meant something different. So I do apologize. That was cheating. So I did do that if that was cheating. But as far as having sex with another woman, I never did that. Not because of her so much, but because of God. So being married and struggling, I wanted to be blessed. So I never wanted to be telling God to bless me knowing I'm doing wrong stuff. You get what I'm saying? Second of all, if somebody stepped out, I didn't want to be the one that cheated, you know what I mean? And then she cheated, I'm hurt. If she cheated, hey, I did my best. But I never wanted to be the joker that's cheating and then be out here stepping out. And then when she cheat, I want to kill everybody. I never wanted to be that dude either. So I didn't get it right because spiritually and emotionally intelligent wise, I was in a place to handle some of the problems. When y'all get married, them first 3 years are tough. You get in hell, some people say it's the first 5 years. I wasn't prepared for that. I wanted instant bliss. We in love, ain't no problems, nothing to work through, my way or the highway. So that was young me, not understanding how marriage works. And wasn't even open to being mentored at the time because I didn't know any other married couples.
What do you guys draw the line at between faithfulness, monogamy, and control. Like some people would say that that's a form of control, stopping you from liking a picture or trying to put use their feelings to hold you hostage. What do you guys draw the line when it comes to that? Lala, how about you tell me? You answer the question for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with this. Like, you gotta definitely be a special kind of person. Like, like far as like a being faithful. Like, especially if you have been hurt before, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you've been hurt before and you feel like you can't trust a woman or trust the person you with, bro. Like my first marriage, bro. I went through some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be open with y'all, boy, transparent. My wife cheated and had a baby, bro. I thought I could never bounce back from that shit, bro. She tried to bury me, you feel me? On top of that, I lost in court, paid child support over almost $200,000 child support for 15 years, bro. You feel me? So it was hard for me. Like, I'm talking about, I was so fucked up. I had sex for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That shit had me probably the smallest I've ever been since high school. My back pockets were touching, all type of shit. But once you find that one, bro, you feel me? And like my wife Monique, she showed me that she can be the partner, the person that I needed. You know what I'm saying? I had it, like all that shit out in the past that happened to me, bro. Like I done like, well, I'm gonna be out here just slanging. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even get to that point where I was so fucked up. So I was like, I gotta find me somebody that I can try to rebuild this shit and grow with. You know what I'm saying? And I got to the point like I was faithful in that first one too. Like just like Hart said, I won't be the one to fuck up. If it is, it's gonna be on her. I'm gonna do the right thing, and that's by God. So I see it as like I don't see it as control because you know, like you gotta think about it. Whatever you do, and you gotta look at it like, what if your wife did it? You know what I'm saying? Like Hart said, he liking pictures on Instagram. He go down and you see his wife liking a whole bunch of niggas pictures on Instagram. How that's gonna make you feel? I know someone's like, nah, but the man in you, you know what I'm saying, the lion in you, like, hell no, if I'm that guy, why she liking that? You feel me? Why she putting her heart in his picture? So I try to do everything that I don't want done to me, bro. I don't want to be in I don't want nobody to be in her. I don't want her to be in nobody's inbox. So I'm not in nobody's inbox. I don't want her smiling in the nigga face. So I ain't smiling in with chick's face. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I said, what I don't want done to me, I want to do to her. You know what I'm saying? What if I could do out there? Like, it's so easy for us to do it, bro. Like, all of our shit together. We got somewhere to stay. We driving. We working. Good fathers. We got all the qualities they want. So the women, anytime we walk out the door, we can grab one. We got everything they want. I'm just speaking of us five because I know y'all boys and I see y'all on Facebook and seeing you with your kids, bro. You with your daughter, see Zay with his kid. Everybody shit together, bro. So it's easy for me to do it, but I don't want. It ain't no thing. You know, I ain't gonna call it control. I just don't want to do some things that will hurt her, and I don't want her to do things that'll hurt me. So I try to do it because I've done that shit before. She said, well, how would you like it if I like this dude picture? And it be people that I've been knowing for years, bro, that I had to cut off. I had a female friend that told me I had to choose between me and my wife, which she was my girlfriend. I'm not friends with her no more. I'm saying I'm solid with who I'm gonna go with what's worked for me. And that shit wasn't working for me. Like I said, I had to rebuild myself, bro. I wasn't this person a couple years back when that shit happened to me, bro. I was not me. I was fucked up. So to get somebody to ride with you like my wife do, bro, is nothing I can ask her. She's not gonna do for me, bro. You know, there's a lot of dudes that can't ask their old lady for shit because they're giving out too much shit. This shit like straight down the middle, bro. If I'm fucked up, hey, put $1,000 in my account. She can do that shit. I had never been with nobody like that in my life.
Oh, let me apply to Chris. Chris, yeah. So I'm gonna just for me. So somebody told me one time the definition of harassment is whatever somebody deems to be harassing. Whether you agree with it or not, they saying, hey, this is harassing. So I'm gonna use that for example. So for me, whether I agree or not, once you grow up a little bit, if I know if my woman who I care about says something hurts her, whether I agree with it or not, I have logically I'm going to respect that. Hey, whether I understand it or not, she's saying that this is something that's hurting her. So when I was doing that with that, I'm admitting that for the first time. I'm like, whatever, that's something stupid. Until
Right.
she does that, and then I had to be taught like, listen, I had to grow a lot as a man, but when you love somebody, you don't intentionally try to hurt them. You know, it's some growing pains with us growing up, but if I didn't intentionally try to hurt. So when she said that hurt her, with certain things I had to just respect, whether I thought it was valid or not, out of respect for her and love for the person.
Hey Chris, I think the answer to that just before you go, I think it's a communication thing. Because I think when you ask where you draw the line at, I believe that if my wife says that hurts her, then that's how I attach that.
Yeah.
But I'm just not gonna assume she thinks that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that like right now, I have to think of. I think it's about knowing your person. Because see, the root of your question is a manipulation on her feelings. Because you a woman weaponizing her feelings to stop you from doing stuff, right? But that means that she has ill intent for you. Period. That just go back to the root of that. Like, why would she be doing that? If she not trying to hurt you or manipulate you or cause you any grief, right? If she just know, hey, my husband just like pictures, now she come to you knowing it doesn't hurt her, but she just want to stop it. That's a malicious intent. But I think if she's coming to you saying, like, I don't like that. That make me feel small as a woman. And I think any man will say, why, that was not my intent. I was just scrolling. I can stop that because it's not worth it. But right. I think it's a thin line between you trying to make me stop to show your to pump your because you're gonna use my love as a weapon. Then I'm actually hurt as your woman, and I want you to stop doing that. And I think once a woman come to you like that, you know, because she gonna know how to talk to you because that's your woman. And once you hear that, like Horace was saying, once you hear that in her, or Lolly was saying, you look at her and know that's affecting the woman you love, it's gonna be a no-brainer for you to stop because that was never your intent in the first place. It wasn't even about her. It was because you just like bent over, big booty, you like, boom. Now that you know that this can be this effect on her, oh, it ain't worth me liking her picture if this gonna be the outcome of it. And I think that should go both ways.
Well, see, the thing about it is this: when we do these comparisons, we do one-on-one comparison. I don't believe that men and women are the same. I don't believe that they're equal. But I don't think that they can be judged in the same way. Just like when we say, "Well, what if she cheated too?" I have to ask myself, "Do you want to cheat?" If you don't want to, if a woman doesn't want to cheat, then she shouldn't bring "what if I cheat too" in the argument. Because that's not something that she truly want to do. That's not an equal one-on-one. What I'm saying is this: if you go if you go into getting a man that you know had a loose past or really was used to be promiscuous, I believe that certain things you got to give him liberty to do. Liking pictures, admiring women. If you take that away from him, you make it taboo. I believe that gives them a stronger want to actually explore those feelings because you don't give me a simple outlet. I like admiring women, and most men like admiring women. If you take that away, it's sometimes, I don't know because I've never been in this situation, but for talking to some men, it feels like a prison sentence. Now he got
That's the crazy part.
I think that's choosing your mate though. Like some women don't like their men being at the gym. Like I don't heard women say imagine no way my man to go to the gym all the time, all the women. But bro, my wife knew I did it before I met her. See what I'm saying? Like this stuff that we already talked about. Like she know what makes me. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this stuff come off because people be bullshitting themselves. Like right now, if your wife, if you meet this girl and she likes to go out and she's in everybody's face every time she go out, she's dating you, she's in everybody's face every time she go out. You can't get married tomorrow and think she gonna just stop being in everybody's face. That's a trait of her. That's what she likes to do. So I'm just gonna say you shouldn't choose that woman because some men don't care that their woman is in everybody's face. I think she should get with a man who doesn't find that offensive and vice versa. But what happens is because she look good or because she doing something for you, you overlook that and hope that once I say I do, I can make her stop, or that's that weaponizing. You can't do that, bro. You got to live within a good zone, because there's a lot of stuff that maybe my wife might do. A lot of them might say he don't want his wife to do, or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? But we fit for each other. He fit for his wife, and that's what make a good couple. It's not when you trying to. Because I believe anytime you forcing somebody to do something, or you making somebody do, that shit gonna erupt, bro. That shit gonna crumble. It's gonna crumble because it's gonna feel like a jail cell, Chris. I agree. If my wife tell me I can't go to the gym, no matter how much I want to do that for, that's my peaceful place. It will probably have a fucked up marriage, because now I'm like, that's my place of peace. So if my place of peace is bringing you this much turmoil, then we not meant to be. As much as I can, as much as I want it to be, I have to really go back and say, how is this? Like, just really examine that shit, and I gotta be real with myself. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people say, fuck it, I'm just try. Nah, some stuff, bro. Like Lolly throw parties, bro. Like he throw good parties. So his wife have to be okay with him being on them scenes and understanding that kind of stuff. And some women say, my husband ain't throwing no, I know how to, but she know what she got. So she okay with that. You see what I'm saying? I think it's that.
Hey Chris, my wife said it's okay to scroll and look, but don't be liking. Now you know what I'm saying? Like you were just saying that they might want to make you. I will still admire women. I can still admire women, but I ain't got to be putting hearts and thumbs ups on the pictures. You know, just look and go. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know she. I'm not the finest nigga in the world.
That's what I'm saying. Your wife is a superhero. Your wife is a superhero. First of all, you're not winning any Sexy Man of the Year awards, and your wife is an attractive woman. So I'm looking at it like, first of all, I look at you as like Hall of Fame for being able to pull that off.
Boy, you hell, boy.
That's one thing.
Boy, you hell, boy.
Oh man.
Man, stop that for shit,
man. Hey, Lolly, we'll be here all night with this person. Listen, we are an hour and 22 minutes in. Two things, man. Tell us, you know what? You have to come back again, because this man said you had the best handles. I ain't going to debate. He said you had the best handles all the time. That's a
but hey, quick, man, these boys don't give me my just due, man. They put me so far on the list of Palm Beach. I was an innovator. I was an innovator. They never.
The first time I played any organized ball, I was on a team with you at Wells Gym.
Was that when we played? We played with Charlie Watt, bro.
I don't remember. I just remember you, and you could do everything and whatnot.
Hey man, I heard y'all talking about Rivera, man. You know how special you got to be growing up in Rivera, bro. Like, listen, bro. I had a football coach at Kennedy that was on drugs, man. Like, I was thinking about that shit one day. Like, this crazy. Like, we'll have practice, and somebody on the team was serving like right out the practice. I'm like, man, this shit is bro, this environment we grow in. Well, you made it out that bitch, man. You are unbelievable. I was thinking about that shit one day. I'm like, man, my goddamn coach was buying dope from the goddamn running back. And I'm like, man, this is crazy as hell, bro.
Especially when Wells let you play until you're 21.
Yeah. And dog, I seen one time they played the Cubans, but they were bringing people to stay. I know everybody was grown. Everybody was grown. Okay. You remember the Cubans? You remember the Cubans from Miami used to come down to play us every year?
Hey,
they were whooping ass back. They were getting grown ass man out to stay. Y'all come suit up.
Hey, no, I was in the 10th grade and I was there just looking. They were like, they got me for. They seen them get off the bus.
Some of them so unreal, man.
No way.
Hey, that place is special, man. I'm telling you, man. You get out of that place, man. You did something, bro. I tell everybody that, bro.
We be joking when we say this. They really think that we be making jokes because Tooter's a joke, and they think that I be egging them on. But it's real. It's not PTSD. My bad heart. It's just TSD because we still living in this traumatic stress.
Yeah, that shit crazy. That place ain't no joke, man. Hey man, I appreciate y'all boys having me on, man. Y'all got a great show, man. Y'all topics, all four of y'all boys speak so well, man. It's a lovely fucking show, man.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
Lovely
you, man.
show,
Thank you,
bro.
Lolly.
I be on this bitch stuttering, losing my
Nah,
mind,
but y'all, I'll be looking at this
messing
shit
up.
sometimes like, but these niggas here better than that shit they be giving all the credit to.
Thank
Shit,
you.
Man.
Lolly,
Yeah,
don't forget, you gotta let them know about your old school reunion. We
oh
going
yeah,
down memory
man.
lane, but you can't get on here and forget about that. I got you.
Okay,
Put the boy down there.
April 1st and 2nd. Saturday we got Trina, Changing Faces, and the OG Triple J gonna be there. And then Sunday,
Hometown.
I tell everybody action. I say Saturday for the homies, and then let your old lady hang out with their girls, and then you come by Sunday. You and your old lady. You got Karen White, Michael Sterling,
okay.
Selena Johnson, and Rome. So Sunday you do with your old lady, and Saturday you hang out the boys with your cigars, your drinks, whatever you like to your Zaza, whatever you like to do, and you let your
Yeah.
old lady hang out with the girls. You know what I mean? I tell you to get your little tent. You know, have your drinks, your little setup. You can get up anytime you want to walk around. Have the sun blocked off. You know, you have your little crew. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been to that blackout. Y'all know how to do. Y'all boy was posted up good in that blackout, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Super friend point guys. That thing was nice when y'all came there. But April 1st and 2nd, Trina, Triple J, Changing Faces on Saturday. Queen Sade, we went there and got two local people to perform this year. Try to give people a chance, you know what I'm saying, to display their talent. A couple years back, we had Ike Turner and his group. They came and performed with JT Money. I try to grab somebody from the city every year to try to get us a shine. You know, Splat Pack been about 4 or 5 times, so
Yeah. Home
I
team.
try to make sure everybody get a little love. You feel me? And
Yeah.
then, like I said, Sunday, it's gonna be for you and your old lady just to sit back and relax. Karen White, Selena Johnson, Rome, and Michael Sterling. So it's gonna be a good time, bro. You know, we try to make everything affordable too. You can go to both days for $100. You can't beat that nowhere, bro.
No, you can't. Listen,
Yeah.
I want
Okay.
Jan Pony to come one year. They been looking for Gigolo Tony to come, but
Yeah,
I don't even know if the man living or not. But that's Zay man.
yeah.
They live
I
on
tried
the
to get a
light bar.
couple of them guys like half pint. I was looking for all of them when
Yeah.
we first started. I want to get all the booty shake makers,
You gotta
all
get
the music
Slick
with
Vic just one
Slick Vic.
time.
Yeah, well,
I, I
bro, well,
still I
brother.
still remember JT Money. I think me and Norman got a photo with JT with the cigar. That was a
Yeah,
player time Scarface. Man.
bro, I'm gonna tell you that's what makes our festival the best. I think, bro. Like you get a real intimate look with the artists, man. The last year we did at 69, walked through the whole thing and took pictures.
Very true. Very true.
Intro, all the artists still they waited in the back, let people take pictures. That don't happen no other festivals, bro. You feel me?
And that's
No,
the
no,
thing.
That's
What
true.
we should bring to the forefront is these are safe parties. There
Exactly, bro.
hasn't been no wild
Any
shootings,
incident.
no crazy stuff. So this is the type of adult entertainment that we have to support. That you have to support. You can come there and be in a safe environment, leave, have a good time, come home, go home safely. That's the most
Not
important
as
thing
much as a fight.
about a lot of this part. I've been to what 2.5
Blackout.
blackouts. One of them was just parking lot pimping. And not only have I made it home safe, but I took a doggy bag home.
Yeah, I tell everybody, and you go to I keep telling people, you go to the blackout,
You're
you're gonna
gonna
end up
beat
being
some.
you're gonna be a baby daddy or husband. I'm telling you, bro, you're
You
gonna
gonna
always
beat
get.
some.
I'm
Every
telling you,
year.
I've been trying to tell all these dudes that, bro. I say, bro, you
Blackout.
go to that blackout and you don't come up in that blackout, you just don't want to come
Come
up.
on, man.
You just don't want to come up.
Well, listen, we got to close the show before we
Yeah,
go
Do we really?
past the credit. Zay, since you talking to tonight, I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna be honest to you, Lolly Hardy, y'all insight from the marriage standpoint, Horace, even yours, because that was a valid point that you gave that we overlook a lot of times because it's just not high on our list was excellent. I appreciate the knowledge. I appreciate y'all spending time to go back and forth with us and give us our input, y'all input as the audience. Y'all could have been doing anything else. I'll tell you two things. Tag a friend and share. It costs you $0.99. But see this mug right here?
That's gonna
Where we
cost
at? You see this here? That's gonna cost you. You need one of them. And thank you.
Mario.
Hey man, I want to appreciate everybody coming out. I want to just speak on Lolly event, man. I want to just say, stand in Atlanta for that price for what you're getting. That's amazing. Let me just tell you, we have festivals up here. The tickets for one day be 400, and you got to sit on the grass. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, to get that environment, that you right there in a tropical place, that's like amazing for anybody who, it's people from Georgia who can drive down, and all over who watch the show who can drive down. Just understand, you right by the water. Like, this is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this Rivera is a beach city. It's a city with a beach. So you getting all of that, man. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Lolly for coming on. A lot of people come on, but Lolly, we appreciate you coming on, because one thing I can say about you, I give your flowers while you're here. It's not a time in my life since I've been young to the point right now. I'm old now. I'm on. You always been the same person. Like, and I say, no matter where I see you at, no matter how I see, you know what I'm saying? And that's rare in these days, because you know how people act funny, you know what I'm saying, as they get to different levels in life. But I give you a shout out, bro. Like, I don't give a damn if I see you wherever I see you, but it's always been the same love. This you were playing at Jupiter. So man, keep doing your great thing, man. shout out to you and your wife, man. Y'all motivating me and my wife, man. Keep going strong, man. I'm proud of you, man. Keep going.
Appreciate you, bro.
Chris Leo.
Yep, I want to second that, because Lolly go back all the way to Jupiter, making Jupiter forced to be
Cool
reckoned
school.
with.
But I appreciate you noticing that, bro. People won't tell you, but they got me down that low, boy.
He was on the team with my older brother, man. That's how I got introduced to Lolly. And again, I'm gonna say it no matter what. I don't care who dislike it. I think Lolly had the best handles in Palm Beach County. Period. That's just hands down. I've never seen a person had that bitch on a string like he had, left, right, anything, and could pass off the dribble, one-handed, left-handed. That was something that I only seen really Steve Nash be able to do. Drive left, pick that thing up, and pass it with your left hand. Bounce.
This 93 though, bro. They gotta realize that.
Yes.
It's 93 before people even start seeing shit like that. Think about that, bro. And that's what I was telling.
They forget that you were a globetrotter, so they overlooked that. We ain't forgot that. So we got a couple hometown heroes too. So.
I gotta get a hard arguments with these young dudes don't know me when I left. I got real hard. Well, you ain't that. I'm like, man, I can't talk basketball with you, man. No other person in the history. I got Jupiter they first 20-win seasons, bro. Like shit like that.
I was at some of them games. Now I was at
Jupiter was horrible before I got there. I mean, to be honest, bro, I always wanted to go to South Coast, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had an opportunity when T. White and Sappho came over. I stayed at Jupiter, and it worked out for me too, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? But I always wanted to play though, cause watching Goldwine, Albert Garnett, and all them guys, bro. I always wanted to go there and play there, bro. But it worked out for the best me at Jupiter, because them guys went over there. They had good careers, but I think I came out of all them dudes that played that year with me. And you look at who career went farther and all that. I was probably the only one to play Division I and all that shit. So it worked out perfect for me, bro.
Salute to you. You kind of like the Dame Lillard of high school. The Dame Lillard stayed in Portland, but it's gonna probably work out for you. He might not win the championship, but he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. So
they made $500 million, bro. It worked out well for him.
Yeah.
$500 million he done made so far. Yeah. Man, keep all your rings.
For sure. Well, hey, thank y'all for joining us for another episode. We're going backstage. Check us out next week when we come back, because I don't even know what the topics was. We got probably 2 or 3 that we ain't gonna get to, but thank y'all for joining us, and these clips will definitely be long and weekly. Peace out.
Man, thank you.